Well guys, here is a brand new Victoria Free After Action report that I just finally finished up with a little bit of break I had after working on them TWS and before bed, as this was my second time playing Venezuela, and my first country I did a redo of that I actually completed, as once again I formed Gran Colombia and all that, as I did a different strategy this time around, because I was originally going to do a strategy I saw on Reddit. Someone said is what they would do is they would just build construction like crazy, and go like iron construction like right off the bat, until they would have, I believe, go into credit, like have loot, burn out all their stockpile. Then they would go to back to wood so they could still build but slowly get their money back up, and then once it's back up enough, they would go back to iron and build up like crazy again, all that. But I ended up not doing that. What I did instead was I slowly built up instead. So I would not build a new construction sector unless I was making 3,000 or 4,500 pounds a week and all that. And I did manage. Oh yeah, and I was eventually sphered, well, more like puppeted by the British, and I was pretty much that way the entire game. Took over all of Colombia, New Granada, thanks to America's help too. I puppeted Haiti, and I actually lost them to a revolution earlier before I came back for revenge and took them over and all that. Fully annexed them. Took Panama. Oh, that's right, Panama was part of New Granada, that's right. And I forced Costa Rica to be under my puppet, but I didn't finish them off completely. I took over Ecuador, that way I was able to form Gran Colombia. I took over a good chunk of Bolivia, and I forced them to give up Peru too as well, and just never got around to dealing with them. And oh my goodness, when I attacked Brazil, I first attacked them to open up their market, and I also took a state from them and forced reparation on them. Oh my god, when I did that, these guys are here, Angola, Django, whatever, they broke away, and then Brazil had another rebellion like around here with like the aristocrats breaking out. It was wild. I just kept taking them over, and I forced Paraguay to be my puppet, but I never finished them off. And I also annexed Uruguay down here. So yeah, I did a lot right there. I puppeted Hawaii, and for some reason, like in the last year or so, the British almost went to war with me to try and do a regime change on them, which had no effect on me whatsoever. I didn't lose anything. I still kept Hawaii as my vassal, so that was really odd. And the only other outside expansion I did was I puppeted Madagascar basically right here, but never did anything with them, although that was pretty much near the end of the game. And oh my god, I just realized Tuscany has all of Italy. That's insane. So yeah, this was my best game as Venezuela into Gran Colombia by, I kid you not, 10 points. No, 11 points. It beat my game I did, I think, last year by just 10 points. Insane, even though I have a better GDP. Then I did 185.7 million to 157 million. My standard of living is a lot worse. That was 19.3. This is 14.7. My population exploded. That's probably the big reason why, because the last game I had just 18 million. I have over 44 million here. So it's a massive difference. And my army's a lot bigger. 99,000 to 252,000 here. My navy's just slightly bigger. 42 to compare to 37 before. So I was still a republic with the clergy in power this time around. I think that's the first time I had to finish the game with them in power, as they've been in power for most of the game and all that. Managed to get laissez-faire and free trade near the end. So yeah, I was able to slowly build up, and I did another strategy too, which I might try later on, because it did help out a lot. Because I remember someone saying before, when you go to war with someone, you should always try to add reparations on. That way you can keep your economy, and you keep making money. That way you can keep your taxes low, build up construction sector and all that, and you can just keep expanding off of war and all that. So yeah, I did that a lot, and I think it helped a lot too. Good man. This might be a lot small, but I went really far with it too. I was building up like crazy, as you can see right here. Was it like 20 different buildings being built at once? Absolutely insane. As you can see, GDP just spiked near the end. So yeah, and I didn't have no revolutions at all, which was insane. And my standard living stayed stable for most of the game and all that, which was very nice, because freaking imports and exports seemed to work, but Any other time, they don't seem to work whatsoever. Alright, so anyways, guys. That's going to wrap up this second time as Venezuela into Gran Colombia. I did a lot better, I think, in terms of territory. Army, Navy's bigger. GDP's bigger. But my standard of living is worse. And I just edged up by 10 points. Didn't get into my top 10, though, at the moment. But anyways, that is it. And now let's take a look at the final results.